In that case, we wrote it a statement without any try catch. Now any save changes or any database update can fail. There are hundreds of reasons for failure, network failure, so many things are possible. So this is not the right way to cause a save changes by directly writing a statement. It is often better to use the try catch handler. So that is the whole point about it, and I'll give you a scheme for doing that. So this is a screenshot also that does the same thing, that demonstrates the same thing. Here context.save changes was applied without any try catch and some database exception occurred. And this database exception, it causes the program to fail. So now let us see how to do this save changes in a proper try catch story. So we will write try, and wherever a possibility of failure is there, save changes async or whatever, the best way is to write db update exception and some identifier for that. And here you can print a message or add a model error so that validators they catch and display the error to the user. So for this I have created a small project. It's better let us go straight to the project to see how we should handle the things. Let me first run the project for you so that we can. This project I have created for a full demo process only. This is a name text box and a simple submit button, and in this I have disabled client side validations. It has been disabled, and there is a model in which this name is a required attribute, and I will also disable the server side validation. So when you run it with a blank form, an exception is supposed to occur, and we will see how to catch that exception, how to handle that exception. So for that, let us first of all have a look at the form that we have done so that we have the whole continuity. And in case you are interested, you can have a look here that this is a simple project where we have a pages folder, index.cshtml and index.chhtml.cs. These are the only two files that we are using in this project. So I'll close this for a while so that I can show to you that this is the model. Wait a minute, this is the page directive, this is the backing class, and these are the tag helpers. These are required for validators to function. This is a form, and there is an input ASP for is prod.name. So prod is basically a bind property. Let us have a look at that also so that prod is a bind property and it is of the type product. And let us also have a look at what this exactly is. And if I go to this, then this is a simple proper model in which we have an auto incrementing ID and a name property which we have marked as required. So with this model in place, product bind property, we come to the backing class, and now you can see the whole story that this is an input that is connected to the name property of our bind property, and then we have a validation summary also, and input type is submit. So this is the whole form that is we have created on the Razor side. Now come to the backing class. Here let me take you through all the story first. These are the using directives, and this is the backing class. This is the product context, and we assume that all database connectivity has been made. Product context, the database settings are in place, and then this is the dependency injection, and then we have this is the bind property, and this is the on post handler that receives the post request from the server side, from the client side. This model validation we have commented out so that server side validation is disabled, and here context.products.add_prod, we are attempting to add a new item to the table. So context.products.add_prod, and here the right way is to put this save changes in a try catch block, db update exception, and model state.clear and model state.add model error. This error is added to prod.name so that on the validation side the error will be shown near the text box that is bound to prod.name, or this error will be shown in the validation summary. In our case we have used a validation summary, so we are artificially adding a model error. We are artificially adding a model error to prod.name, so this will automatically get attached to the validator for the input with the prod.name. And e.innerException.message, this is being shown for